Sexy little shredders. I'm going to go over a few things because we are heading into week 4, and this is where I want you all to think about going back to normal life, but still being sensible. Now, the number 1 rule when it comes to eating something is to ask yourself, am I hungry? Or are you just a little bit pissed off? Are you bored? Are you sad? Are you just feeling lonely and sorry for yourself? Or is it an old habit creeping in? Now that could be you sitting on the sofa with your loved one or the kids, and you just fancy eating something even though you already feel full. Now, the purpose of this video is to help you understand that losing weight all the time is never a good thing. We never want to always be in a diet. Just not good for you. You will literally slow down your metabolism. You will find it harder and harder to lose weight because you're just not fueling your body. And one thing I've wanted to really get you to understand over the last 3 weeks is that food is fuel for your body, not just to help you do things, but to help you feel good. You know, when we eat good food, that means real healthy food, food that we grow, protein, your veggies and your fruits. It does interact with your gut and it does make you feel good. It mentally makes you feel good because it's all to do with the bacteria, and the bacteria feeds us. So we don't always want to diet because we are just going to ruin ourselves. The second thing I want you to think about, and it's not a rule, it's just that you need to be aware that your metabolism doesn't just work by a set number. It doesn't mean you're always going to need 2,000 calories a day. There'll be some days when you might need more because maybe you're not feeling too well or you've had a hard workout. And there'll be some days where you just don't really feel hungry and you don't really want to eat. You're not going to do yourself any harm if you are making sure you are eating something that nourishes your body. If you're poorly, maybe you don't even want to eat. If you're stressed, again, some people can lose their appetite, but I don't want you reaching for alcohol or junk food if you haven't had something good. So the second thing I always want you to think about is your body doesn't work by numbers. They're not controllable. And your metabolism is flexible. Don't even know if you can read this writing, but I just wanted to write on a whiteboard. It looks professional. So your metabolism is flexible. What does that mean? Okay, so some of you had 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. This would be your budget. Okay, so on the bottom end, you've got 1,800, top end, 2,000 calories. Now, a lot of you have been sticking to eating well and you have lost weight. That means you are eating less than you need. If you are staying the same weight or gaining weight, you are eating at your maintenance calories, which could be this top number, or you're eating more than you need. What I like to give people is a little bit of a buffer either side. So you might be able to have as low as 1,600 calories before you even lose weight. That's going to be unlikely though, because nobody needs 1,600 calories unless you're 7 years old. And you could probably as much as 2,300 calories before you start gaining weight to build muscle or to put on weight so you are a healthy size. So we've got our maintenance calories, which usually have again, this is all estimated, it's an approximate figure and it depends on many things, but you could have 200 to 300 calories either side of your budget before you lose or maintain your weight. What we want to do after the shred is maintain. We want to stabilize our weight and keep those little habits that we've implemented over the last 3 weeks as part of our day-to-day life. It needs to become something we always do so we can continue to lose fat, because that will still happen as long as you are in a slight calorie deficit. It doesn't mean keep dropping your calories. It could mean make sure you're getting out for a walk every single day. Doesn't mean you have to go and walk 10,000 steps. It just means move your body throughout the day. Not just at the end, not just to tick off a step target, but are you moving at regular intervals throughout your whole day, your waking day? I'm hoping that bit makes sense, because what we're going to do now, because it is all about maintaining what you've achieved, we want to introduce all the foods that you'd probably pick throughout the day, like your biscuits, your cakes, a beer, a wine at the end of a hard day, eating out at the weekend. And this is why I've done the fat tax, because we all know if we keep eating more calories than we need, we are going to gain weight over the year. And for those of you that have found that losing weight seems impossible, or you're doing everything but the scales still aren't shifting, this is where having an awareness of, are you eating if you're hungry, and understanding, are you eating enough to fuel your body? Are you making it harder for your metabolism to help you function as a healthy, active adult? And are you having too many things that can actually make the scales go up? And that doesn't always mean calories, because in one of the weeks I explained about water and inflammation. So sometimes if the scales aren't moving, it doesn't always mean it's fat. It could just mean excess water in the body, in the muscles, because of what you've done or stress in your life. So this week, I'm going to be giving you all your own copy of the fat tax, and you'll see 2 tabs. One tab is a food list, and I want you to use this as much as you need to, adding in your own foods and drinks. So this is helping you become more aware of how many calories are in the drinks and the snack foods that you want to eat. That will all then feed into the second tab, which is where you can put your name and then the snack of choice, to see what impact that would have in terms of your fat loss goals if you were to eat those things once a week for the whole year, on top of your daily food allowance. And I do want you to think of it like an allowance, because if we want to maintain our weight, if we want to be strong, fit and healthy, and in a healthy fat range, then you need to be aware of what you're choosing and why. I'm going to let that sink in. And if you've got any questions about this week, use me. Put it in the group, drop me a message, and we will go from there. Enjoy.